Hello everyone, this is Darwell20 and welcome to episode 51 of Modern Skyblock. Today, dun 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 dun. We're working on all the things, hooray! We're playing with more applied energistics, and now I'm finally feeling like we're getting into a good place with automation. We can do all kinds of cool things. So between episodes, I made a few more ME storage components, which should allow me to do this. Did I get all 7? I'm going to need more of this glass. Shouldn't be a problem, actually. Yeah. Oh, it's so nice having the ability to craft with applied energistics again. You have no idea how much I missed this. Oh my goodness. Zoinks. Hooray! Lots of storage space for the impending resources we're about to dump into this thing. So I think today's episode will be getting imports going and probably a few other things. So I'm probably going to want a few more of these things happening. Let's get like 10. Does that sound good? Of those dudes cooking, because we're going to want more. And by the way, this setup works beautifully. It works really well. It's a little dire wiry, but it's totally awesome. And I love it. And it's just super cool from my point of view. Does that mod also have those fancy new inscribers that are like even better? Did I check this already? I feel like I might have checked it already. There's just the regular inscriber, and there's no advanced inscriber from AE2 stuff. Is that what that is? Yeah, advanced inscriber. Sweet. That one I think is like a faster version of the inscriber that you can put more speed upgrades in. So, spoiler alert, it's happening. And it might also allow the insertion and extraction from different sides. So yeah, that might allow me to de-dire wire just a smidge. But for now, we're cool. All right, so let's get the following set up. I would like to import all my resources into the AE system. That'll be step 1-ish. And then step 2-ish will be some automation steps. So I'd like to like run some wiring around, move our ME crafting turbo upstairs so I don't have to come down here to access resources all the time, obviously. Get some wiring going throughout the base, and start some automation maybe with auto crafting. That would be a really nice task to have by the end of the day. So in order to do that, we're going to want some import buses and some other things. So what would be involved in making an import bus? So like step 1, let's import stuff, right? And that shouldn't be too bad. I might have the resources to make this, but I doubt I have the resources for a sticky piston in here. But I can get a slime ball, no problem. And this is why I want to import stuff, so I can craft in the AE system, like, you know, without having to be impatient about things. And that'll be cool. Not have to come up and down to get resources. So you go there, and that's cool. And then an import bus should be available to us. Cool. And then speed upgrades, acceleration cards require pure flux crystal. Oh, these require these guys? Okay, cool. I'm making the wrong resource then. Though 4 is typically enough, so it's all good. But let's get like maybe... How about a dozen of you? Does that sound fair? We're going to probably want more silicon. So like you, a dozen, and that should be good. Cool. So then flux crystal with you and pure versus impure. Don't matter. It's all good. So that means that's good. And do we have more cables handy? We do. Smart cables. Beautiful. So basically, I don't even need you to be there. Are you in wrench mode? You are. So we'll get that stood up. We'll import those dudes, and this is going to basically be my import all the things phase of applied energistics, which is one of my favorite phases. You have no idea how much I get excited when it's time to import all the things into applied energistics, guys. Here it is, cool. So you should be importing all the things now, and you should be emptying all the things, and that's what's up. So we're going to do that a few times. So like you definitely, we're going to want these resources. You should be empty by now, so we'll pick you up and put you down. And then things will continue to move like that. So that shouldn't take too long because we don't have a terribly large amount of chests for like stuff and things, right? So you're empty already? You're next? You know, because a lot of our resources are kind of spread out in other locations, right? Like we've got different stuff in different places. especially like our drawers for our mob drops and stuff. We'll have to hook that up with a storage bus because no way I'm going to import all that stuff. Cool. Remember my old pick? Oh, memories. All right, so you can go, and you can go. And now we're going to be talking about having all the resources in. So we should definitely look at maybe doing some P2P networks and all that stuff. But before I do any of that, frankly, I'd like to automate crafting. Like, that's going to be like my literal next step. Sweet. I like it. Wow, that was fast. And you cleared out that one too? Gotta love that import bus. Super speedy. Wow, yeah, that's fast. I mean, to be fair, there's not a lot of stacked items in there, so I guess that makes sense that it would be fast. We've got all the things! Yay. Wow, and we actually filled up quite a healthy amount of types. Mostly different item types. And that's the reason that I do 4K storage cells typically, is because you will more often have lots of different types rather than having lots of one type. And if that's the case, then you want to go 4K storage cells, right? Like, we're on average using around 2K of each. So we're only using half the storage available in the cell, but we have 63 different types of items. So that's shenanigans, actually. We should look into, like, what we have so much junk. Why do we have so many things that we don't need? But oh well, it's all good. We'll just have to make more drives, because that's how we solve problems in the dire world. We don't clean up messes. We just make more. So that's all done and good. So should we look into auto crafting with AE? Does that sound like a nice thing? So let's get into applied energistics auto crafting. So we're totally gonna want, like, to get started, we'll like do some basic auto crafting, but at some point I'll need to build like the big auto crafting diamond thing, like I did in my in my Age of Engineering series. So we'll definitely like want to look into some of that. So to get started with auto crafting, we're going to need two things. We're going to need the molecular assembler, and then we're also going to need some storage crafting units. And it's crazy because like you'd think I'd be like a super expert at this by now. I'm not. Really not. So we're gonna have to, like, you know, remember how things work a little bit. So I know I'm gonna probably want more of you. And how are we for silicon? Not terrible. How about for sand? Not terrible, but not great. I mean, we have a lot of sand, just not in the system, that's all. So let's just put you in there to make more silicon for a minute. And I want to get a few more. Did I math something wrong? Point. I was all excited about how perfectly the system was working, and what did you do? Why are you no inserting Certus? Oh, because you're not pure Certus. Well, there's your problem. That's right, only pure Certus can go in there, not regular Certus. So... now we're working. Dire derp, that's all it is. It's a dire derp. So let's put 10, 10, and 10 in there, and that should get me all the things that I want. So let's go with a 4K storage for crafting at the first stage, right? So we're definitely going to need more of these Certus guys, calculation processors, to make that. But then in addition, we're going to want the molecular assemblers, which aren't too bad typically. We're going to need a little bit more of you. Let's get two of you to start. Does that sound fair? Having two probably wouldn't be a bad idea. It's so beautiful being able to do this. Oh, I miss it. I miss it so much. Crafting is so much easier when you have applied energistics or refined storage. Like, you're spoiled by it, and you don't even realize you're spoiled by it, and then you get it back, and you're like, I've missed you. So 3 of you, and then a 4K storage unit. And as a reminder, for anybody who's not super familiar with applied energistics or just, you know, forgets, like I typically do, let's get more Certus dust. Let's wash more Certus too. That's another to-do list for me. I have so many to-do lists now that we've unlocked a lot of cool stuff. So for anybody who forgets, the bigger crafting things let you craft more complex multi-stage recipes, right? So you're definitely going to want at least 4Ks to get started, but later on when we're crafting really super complex stuff, we might need, you know, 16 or 64K crafting guys. So we'll definitely get to that, I'm sure. I finally feel like I'm at a stage where it's like, yay, cool things. All right, so 4K crafting storage requires a 4K due to view, and 4K crafting storage. Is that what JEI synchronized standard keep means? I think it does. Cool. Maybe that's a thing. Okay, good deal. So we've got some cabling, which we should probably do better with shortly. But for now, what we can do is just expand out back here and have you, which should be all we need to be able to autocraft, and you guys. And you know what we need? I lied. We need something else for this. So let's just do... What would be involved in doing this? I kind of want you a little bit higher. We'll totally, like, revamp this once we make more of these, and we'll be making more of these once we get into auto-crafting, because we will want to auto-craft them. So one there, one there. We need to put interfaces here, as you guys may recall. Yay. Cool. Now, do you use channels for that? I forget. No, you don't. Cool. So there's only one channel here, but we'll be using interfaces here. Once we have more than 7 interfaces, so basically only one of these will be supported until we get into some thicker cabling, but that's okay. So an interface is not too bad, but we're definitely going to want more of you, which is why I was cooking them up. And then another interface component is this one, which will be you, and that should allow me to make 4 interfaces. Woot. That'll be a good starting point. Should I just make all 6? No reason not to, right? Except that I might not have the quartz needed. Yeah, I don't have the quartz needed. So we'll just stick with 4 for now. Deal? And we'll want this guy. You can make them like the smaller interfaces, but they're typically better to make the big interfaces for the auto-crafting stuff. Cool. How about an interface terminal? Would that be a smart thing to make? I feel like it would if we had more quartz. So I need to make more quartz, probably. I can't wait to automate all this crafting stuff, because that'll be cool, actually. Oh, right, we have to wash dirty quartz, which we get from block breaking nether brick. So let's see if by chance, I mean, if there was dirty quartz laying around, it would have been in here, and that's, you know, a thing. Yeah, so we probably don't have any quartz there. Do we happen to have any quartz in here? Probably not. So let's get, it's blaze powder and cobblestone, right? So let's get like 8 stacks of cobble. Does that sound fair? And I think it's 3 stacks of blaze powder, or 1 stack of gunpowder. So gunpowder or blaze powder. Yeah, we don't have enough of either, so let's just go over to our place. This is where having the whatchamacallit will definitely help. The storage bus attached to this guy would be very nice to have right now. So you 3. Nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Beautiful. Loving it. And then you just need to be rock crushed a little bit. So I could put you in here, right? That would automate it. And that would save me the trouble. I love automation, as you guys probably know. And then you guys should get cleaned up a little bit, right? Yeah, dirty quartz. That's what's up. Yay! We'll let that run, but for now we've got enough to at least craft what we need to craft. All right, so for another interface, we needed, oh, fluix dust. That's the other thing we're short on. Do we have any more fluix? We have enough to get what we need for now. We've gotten to the point where I'm so excited to be able to, like, auto-craft, like, well, manually craft things in Applied Energistics Terminal, but, like, also now I'm like, yay, auto-crafting. Cool. So then interface terminal requires an interface, and you, we'll put you away. And then we should be able to make this and this. And just to make also life easier, let's move you. Like, what would it look like if I put you up here? Not terrible. We're probably going to want to move this guy down, by the way. Ye old crystal growth chamber. And we don't really need the, whatchamacallit anymore? The energy acceptor. So that can kind of go away. So you're cool to grow. Let's think about maybe... where would be a cool place to have this thing? That would be, like, not intrusive. And, like, a super cool place to have it. Like, maybe over here, at the very end of this line. Would that be cool? I think that would kind of be cool, right? So we could have our crafting terminal here. And interface terminal we'll put at the top, and then at the bottom we'll wind up eventually being something else. And that might not be ideal next to a water source, but we'll deal with that when the time comes. Let's put it that way. Oh, and I'm dire wiring it up already. Do we have any power cables? Oh, I moved the thing. So maybe this isn't the ideal place, right? I'm just trying to think from, like... wah, wah, wah. That'll work for now. I could just put it coming up the back here for a minute. Yeah, I think that works. Right, we can run you. For the time being, this will be. We'll probably wind up changing this all up. Because what I'll probably wind up doing, realistically, is moving some of these machines downstairs and using them strictly for automation. But I don't know. This is the point where we're going to have to start reorganizing our base just a little bit. But I think it would look cool to have this come up here, right? With the crafting terminal here. That sounds cool. Yeah, I like that. I think that looks good, right? Cool. All right. And then you have to go back to sort by number of items, JEI synchronized standard keep. Good. That he remembered, which is nice. Okay. So things and stuff are making progress. So now we're going to need a crafting terminal, right? Or a recipe terminal. What's it called? Crafting terminal interface. Pattern terminal. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. So we want... let's get just a few of these. Redstone. Silicon. Cool. And we should then be good to go for the terminal. Oh. So you're going to make the pattern terminal requires a crafting terminal, which requires an ME terminal, which we have most of what we need for it. Just another one of you. And then you can make one of these, and then you can make one of these. Provided I have a crafting table first. And then we want the pattern terminal, which requires one of those diamond dudes, which we should be crafting now. See how much better this is already? ME pattern terminal. Sweet. And I should probably be hanging on to my cables. I don't know why I put them away. Excellent. So now we're going to want patterns, right? So you can also be in this mode. But let's do patterns. And we'll see. I'm almost certain. But I think that the AE2 stuff mod makes it so I can shift-click patterns into the pattern terminal, even if I don't have the resources. So can I literally just do this? Wah, wah, wah. It doesn't look like I can. I was really hoping I could. Why are you not going to let me do that? Are we really out of iron? There's no way we're out of iron, are we? We're out of iron. Okay. So we are out of iron, but we can do this to get us back up and running with iron. Cool. Really? That's blocked? Prevent substitutions, allow substitutions. For now, we'll do prevent, but that is a bummer for me. So we're going to want you, and then we're going to want you. And then if I use the interface terminal, we put it in the very first molecular assembler. We should be able to ask for a pattern now and see if it'll craft. Boom. That's what's up. Yay! Nice. Okay. You know what I want to do? It shouldn't be a problem. I'm going to import this crate with all its nonsense straight into here. Also to do wireless crafting terminal. Because we're finally at the point where, like, of the millions that have dropped, right, we can do that. So you and the speed upgrades, please. Clearing it. Boom. That's what's up. So now at least we have, you know, these things. And what I'll probably do is stick an import bus on the one that's up there. Right? So that going forward, any new stuff shows up, boom, gets imported. Nice. That's what's up. So we are almost going to need a new tape drive. How funny is that? That's crazy. I don't think I've ever had that before, where I fill up a tape drive on first implementation of an AE system. Glad that I spent some time between episodes making more discs. But yeah, we're totally going to need another drive, I think. So another one of you, another one of you. And we should have more of these guys to do better way up and down. So we should have gotten patterns now, right? Good. We can put you in here. What I'd like to do is make 1K storage disks a thing. And it would be ideal if you used pure Certus quartz. Because Certus is not a premium yet, but it's kind of getting there. So and it's easy to upgrade now with like that nifty little block, right? So that's the 1K. Did I already do 1K? Yeah, I did. So then, if we wanted a 4K, we should be able to request one of those and pattern that, and then pattern this. Needs the 4K first. Not a problem. Do I not have the stuff for a 4K? That's interesting. It was putting the quartz glass in there, even though maybe if it knows how to craft the prereqs, it's allowed. So you've got a 4K crafting component. You're going to do ME storage cell 4K, and that should be cool. And then I should be able to pattern you up and request some 4Ks, right? Now I don't know how many I'll be able to request, because we don't have enough logic processors, pure Certus, or Redstone at the moment. But we'll get there. Can I at least request one? Yay. so that we don't immediately run into a problem, right? Boom. Cool. So applied energistic system, getting there. Auto crafting, getting there. Loving it. Wouldn't mind having another interface. Can I teach you how to make interfaces? Because I know I'm gonna want a lot of those going forward. And if we can prep a lot of the prereqs here, that would be super. And I know I'm gonna want you to know how to make this and this. So just as an FYI, that's coming. And that'll go into these guys, molecular assemblers. And with that, I should be able to request an interface that I'm going to turn into this version of an interface. And then what we're going to do again, there will be lots of wire cleanup once we get more automation in place. Come back here. Where'd you go? Where did that go? Oh, there it is. I want that because I'm going to need it in a sec. So if I put... So we're going to want to set up patterns, right? For processors, for all 4 processors. So I don't think I can do this, can I? So let's... crafting pattern is this. And we'll do that. And if we just say redstone... plus gold plus silicon equals a fully made logic processor, that should be cool, right? And then we can change it out for Certus equals a fully made one of you. And then we can change it out for diamond equals a fully made one of you. And then on our chest, which I think I can rename somehow, I forget, there's a way to rename this. So now if I said, hey, I want you to craft a logic processor, and hey, I've got some silicon for you to do that with, we hear that clicking, and that's a really good sign. And then we just need an import bus on this dude, which will be done like so. And then boom. So that when the completion is done, that flags the craft complete, and we'll be good. So you're cooking, which I can speed up, by the way. And you're good. Sweet. That is cool. Nice. Love it when a plan comes together. Yeah. Yeah. That is super cool. One more thing I might want to try. Let's make another interface. Craft all the things that you need for that, please. Thank you. Can I put on the sag mill an interface? And if I configure the sides of the sag mill, so this is a thing I'm going to try because it's been, you know, possibly not going to work, but we'll find out. Certus quartz equals Certus quartz dust, right? So one of you equals one of you. I'd like to see this pattern work. So that if I came in here and said I wanted some Certus quartz dust, please, 1. Did you work? And did you validate like the craft? I just want to see that it actually... Isn't there a crafting monitor? ME storage monitor. Really? That's a weird thing. Crafting terminal, interface terminal, pattern terminal, ME terminal. Is it not a separate terminal in here? Is it this crafting status? Yes! No crafting job active. There it is. We don't need a separate terminal for it in this mod. Okay, cool. So if we said another Certus dust, please, start, and then we hit this button, it'll say it's in progress, and then it's done. Awesome. Awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. I like it. I like it a lot. That is cool. All right, so we have some really good progress made today. And I think it's already, believe it or not, getting close to wrapping up point. So why don't we wrap up the episode here? We've got the basics of automation going. We will need to do a lot more automations, obviously. What's involved in just getting more patterns? Like, do we have enough to like get like 10 more? We need glowstone. I think the next task for me will probably be automating this. And it should be a problem. It might just be a little tricky. And we'll want to make sure the ordering of things is right. So, like, for example, redstone requires gunpowder and blaze, but if you just drop gunpowder in first by itself, it'll turn into blaze before the blaze shows up, and then you're going to be in trouble, right? So, we'll test that, but there's also a thing you can put on this to specify which things are crafted. And if we have to do that, it means we're going to have multiple combustion dudes, right? Which isn't a problem. It's not the end of the world, right? We can make that happen. But it's just we might have to have a couple more of these in order to make sure that everything's groovy, if that makes sense. But yeah, for now, Devil20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. I am looking forward to automating all the things in Applied Energistics. All right, guys, take it easy.